Hi, it's Cam with Madrona Labs. Welcome back. When composing music, sometimes the first step is locating the door, an entry point to an imagined world. Anything could spark an idea. This is what makes experimenting so rewarding. Today I want to take you through the process of composing something that began as an experiment in Sumu. Follow me. So here's our starting point. It's a patch I called forest chatter because without any input, it chaotically generates bird-like sounds in the high end and occasionally fluttery drones in the mid to low end. The main interesting thing going on here is how I set up the pulses module. It has a slow BPM, and I modulated the generation settings with a bunch of pop-up LFOs, so the pulses shoot around the partial map in a chaotically organic way. The partial set comes from a sample I took of my Juno 106 playing an A with pulse width modulation on. A patch like this is a great starting point because it's embedded with this sort of wildness and variation, but it also implies a simple tonality, so it's easy to play with too. In this case, the lower droning tones imply the key of A, so anything that plays nicely with A as the root will fit comfortably. If you have a sound that you like as a starting point but you're having trouble deciding what to do next, I recommend writing down a list of attributes that sound has. The next sound that you add should share some of these, but also contrast them. For the next layer, I wanted to add something that I played by hand on the piano to contrast the randomness. So I fired up Aalto and found this preset, which I modified slightly. I thought it sounded really nice in unison with the built-in piano sound. This is Aalto by itself. I made its envelopes loop for some added rhythmic interest. And now in unison with the piano. Let's add some alto verb. Alright, I think that's our A section. Now I'm feeling like I want a stronger drone to fill out the low end, so let's make a variation of our Sumu patch. We want to keep the same partial set, but make the pulses a lot less random, and we want them to travel as slowly as possible. Filter out a lot of the high stuff. This fits nicely. It's quite stable, but still has some subtle variation baked in. So after this, I went back to the piano and I had this idea for a descending chord sequence that repeats, with good amounts of negative space in between. Layer, I wanted to find some kind of sound that rhymes but adds something new. So I just opened Kaivo and went scrolling through the presets. I found this one called Metal Conch Music that really fits the initial Sumu patch well, but adds this extra something that I thought was really cool. Like the patch we started with, it generates things kind of randomly, so I just recorded a bunch of audio out and then edited it later to make it fit the composition better. Now before we call it done, I want to add just one more layer. Something sequential and rhythmic, just to finish things off, maybe imply a new beginning right before it ends. So let's fire up And there you have it. Music appears from just messing around. And that's all I have for today, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye.